Yo, everybody, we are back for the 10th episode of Love the Game. Very big achievement. Shout out to everyone showing support, showing love, man. Today we're gonna be talking about not a lot of serious sports stuff, but we're also going to talk about the losers of the NBA free agency. Um, like we're gonna talk about 2K today. Another interesting topic that we've never talked about before, Superman. You feel me? Joel Embiid's health status, and yeah, the losers of NBA free agency. So, uh, you know, I'm Ray,
Marco.
and yeah, let's get it, Brody. Um, for the 2K cover, bro, I saw a lot of people kind of, I guess, complaining that SGA was the sports cover athlete for NBA 2K16. Last year, I felt like it was a little similar, but I think maybe a little different reaction from Jason Tatum, excuse me. Um, And yeah, I mean, for me, bro, I feel like he's Shea, obviously, I think is taking the face of the league. If that makes sense. Like I feel like it's probably like him, Ant, Luca, and Wemby or something like that. I'm definitely leaving somebody out.
Yeah, I think Tatum would be up there too,
Yeah,
especially because he's a
yeah, yeah,
Celtic and all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to pick one at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a really good. Well, I honestly, I don't think the cover is good because there was like a whole bunch of debate about the
Yeah.
cover. I don't know if you remember the Pop Smoke album where everyone clowned Virgil because it looked like he
Was that
edited
the
it and like
posthumous one?
yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
Okay.
The one where he had like his face and it was all the wires and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's like, bro, I could have did this. Like,
like yeah, R.I.P. Virgil, but it definitely
yeah,
reminds me of that a little bit. Um but yeah, I honestly I feel like Shay kind of I mean I don't see anything wrong with it, bro. What you think about the cover and the decision with the athlete?
yeah. This isn't an athlete. Like, from every point of view you could have, Shea had is very deserving of it. Whether it be marketability, he's super marketable.
Yeah.
He's one of the best players in the league this year, in my opinion, top three. He won the MVP and won the Finals MVP. Like I don't know, he did everything you could pretty much do except like win DPOY or like most improved. And he's super marketable. So I had no problems with the athlete. I thought it was the right choice, just like I thought Tatum was a good choice for last year. Yeah, I don't know if people like if they have a problem with Shea, they probably just don't like Shea or they just want LeBron to be the cover athlete every year, which
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. Like innocent. But yeah, the cover as a whole, I don't know. It looked like they just used the regular picture from the game and just blurred everybody else out. Just thought it was kind of lame. I don't know.
Bro,
I
I
think
thought it looked like they like added the Nuggets players in there. Like they didn't even take it from like a Nuggets series.
yeah,
Like it was like,
it was super
yeah,
weird.
it was crazy,
Um,
bro.
Definitely, yeah. I don't know. They could have added a cool background or something like that. I don't really. It's not like I'm buying a physical copy of the game anymore. It's really just gonna be the loading screen.
I got,
I'm kind of like I know it's a big deal to some people, and I grew up like growing up. I played a lot of 2K. I have the new 2K because I game share with Duran. I haven't bought 2K in a couple of years
I
because
get
like
it, bro. I get it.
at this point I do think the criticism is valid that it's the same game every time. And to be honest, like Call of Duty is kind of my favorite game. Like if I'm with my friends, I'm usually playing Warzone or like Resurgence or something on Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So I don't feel the need to keep buying 2K because that's not what me and my friends do on one. But yeah, I thought the criticism was very valid about how lame the cover was, and I saw a bunch of the fan art ones where they're like adding lightning in the background to say it's like, oh my god, like I just graduated high school and I cooked this up in
Yeah.
10 minutes, and you had a full year, and this is what you had. So I thought that was valid, and it was funny. It was definitely a funny day on Twitter. People were saying that it should just be a picture of VC on it,
Yeah.
and the other one I thought was funny was
Hilarious.
they had Shea the free throw line. It's like it should be this. And I'm like, I'm a supporter of Shea's free throws. I think it's good for his team, and I don't see a problem with what he does. It's strategy at the end of the day. Like free throws are efficient points. But
Yeah.
that one was really funny to me too, where they're like, this should be the cover, and this some shit with the free throw. That was funny to me too.
Did you like the Carmelo and Angel Reese covers too?
I was
I
happy the Angel got it. I was kind of surprised, but yeah, I was happy with that.
yeah, bro.
Um, the Melo one, yeah, it was cool too. I feel like Melo is having a resurgence in popularity right now. I feel like every time I check Twitter, he's getting a lot of love there.
No cap,
So
no
yeah,
cap.
I thought that was cool. Three cool decisions, and I don't know if it was just the edit or actually what they're doing for the joint one, but they had a cover with like all three of them on there. Like I
Oh,
said,
I
I
didn't
forget
see that. I
or
didn't
not.
see that.
I
Okay.
thought it was cool. I could try to find it so you could put it in the video, but
Bet, bet, bet.
I thought it was yeah, I thought it was cool. What did you think? Did you think Melo or Angel Reese was
Yeah,
like
I mean,
the
I'm
movie?
not gonna lie, bro. I have like it's weird. Like I've had such a love-hate relationship with Melo because like I think him being on the Knicks like made me look at Melo a little bit differently because they were like, competition, right?
Yeah,
But now that like that era is over, man, like Melo definitely is one of my favorite players for sure. Um, so I just love seeing him get his flowers, honestly. I think a lot of our times, like while we were growing up, like Melo was kind of like not shunned, but I feel like there wasn't like the talks that we had about like Curry and like LeBron and like Harden and Russ, like we weren't having those type of conversations about Melo, it felt like, at least in the 2010s. Um, so yeah, like to see him get his recognition is fire. To see Angel Reese also get her recognition after her dominant stretch right now, is really fire. How many games has she had a triple double or not triple double, a double double in a row now?
I don't know, but yeah, she looked really great when Camilla was out, and Camilla's back, and she's still playing really good basketball.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
nice to
yeah,
see. I've been a fan of hers because I think a lot of the criticism she receives is unwarranted.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'm just happy that she's playing really good basketball, and people are recognizing it. So I would trust me, bro. I was shocked though that it actually gave her the cover, because of the amount of hate she receives. I thought they were going to try to like, I don't know, even if it wasn't like Caitlyn, I'm surprised. I think it was Asia last year, so like
Yeah,
I
it was
understand why it
Asia.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
Asia again. But yeah, I'm surprised it was Angel. But I guess she probably is the top three most popular player in that league right now.
Hey man, shout out 2K, man. Shout out 2K. Um, Next up this week, I think Friday. Yeah, because today's Sunday while we're filming this. Superman, the movie dropped, right? I
Hmm.
found out that Superman was from Philly.
You know where he went to high school, bro?
Bro, where he go to high school, bro? Pop it, bro.
He went to Shipley, bro. I don't know if you knew that, but shout out to bro. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet, but it's gotten great reviews. I'm
Bro,
definitely gonna go see it this week.
bro, everyone's been talking about it, bro. So I saw like he had like someone on GQ or something like that. He seemed like a pretty cool dude. He seemed like a real Philly dude. Like just,
Yeah,
So I was like, hey, bro, I'm kind of here for it, man.
yeah, I gotta watch that. Alumni at the same high school as me, so very happy for him. Um, yeah, definitely got to watch. I've heard nothing but good things, and which is good because Superman's a super interesting character. But when you're that strong, it's like really hard to make a full
Yeah,
movie
yeah,
about
yeah,
it. It's
yeah.
like because like oh like there has to be like you stop Superman, and the only way to really do that is with kryptonite. So
Yeah,
like oh
yeah,
Superman can stop with kryptonite, and then he overcomes it and beats him. So it's like it's not like Batman where he's got a lot of flaws because he's just like a human
yeah,
and multiple ways to overcome it. It's like Superman is kind of going to have the same plot every time. So I'm interested to see how they do that. Because I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm very happy that we finally have a really good Superman movie on our hands.
yeah, bro. I got two questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see like the Superman boy like while you were on campus?
No, I don't know how old he is, bro. That's the thing, because I never heard of him until this movie came out, and then Durant talked about, oh, he went to Shipley. I'm like, Superman went to Shipley. I was like, I would have thought I heard about this. So I don't know if this is his big break, and he's been in nothing but this, like nothing before this, but
Bro,
never.
apparently he's been on some stuff, I think. He's been on
Oh,
like
he's 32. Okay, yeah. So what else has he been in? Twisters. I heard of that. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not that tapped in with movies and stuff. Like superhero movies, I'll go watch them, but I'm not like the type of
yeah,
person that like needs to be there opening day. I just like I go and I'll be a fan and I play the video games that they put out and stuff. But
yeah.
no, it's super. I'm really excited for this. I was mad that I was away this weekend because I really wanted to see that this weekend, and now I gotta wait till next weekend because I work this week.
Word. So this leads me to my second question. Like, is Superman your favorite superhero or like because mine's Batman.
I like Batman too.
Okay. All right,
You know
word.
why? I like because the movies are good, and I like the Arkham Knight games.
See, I
Not the
haven't played them
but
yet, but I'm going to.
Arkham Knight was the newest one, but it's they got Batman Arkham Knight, they got Arkham Asylum. I think
Yeah,
it's just called the Arkham series. But
yeah,
I played
yeah,
all those like even as an adult. I love the game. I love the movies. I had the TV show on DVD growing up, so I think he's probably my favorite. Also, all the villains are tough too.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
not even
yeah.
Batman's cool, but he's got like all his villains are super cool too. And I played like Lego Batman, the video game. That was my joint growing up too.
Oh yeah, no cap. Yeah, the PS2. Oh God, bro. Yeah, bro.
So yeah, he's probably my favorite.
Shout out Superman, bro. Um, And in an unfortunate turn like an unfortunate like segment, right? I guess we're gonna segue. My fault.
Mm-hmm. So
Um,
you,
and we can kind of like go into the losers of the NBA free agency from this conversation too,
mhm.
because this is a team that's in my losers bracket. Um, Joel Embiid's injury. I know he had surgery, I think, this past summer, but I remember seeing reports saying that he should stay out for like a year and a half. And today or yesterday, during a Daryl Morey conference, he said that he was, more like even though he hasn't completed any on-court activities, he's optimistic that he'll be here at the start of the season. I personally think it's over, bro. I personally think it's over. I can't lie. And it
I don't
really,
know.
I was hurt seeing that. I'm not gonna lie. It hurt me, bro.
I actually feel like this is a non-story because his surgery wasn't anything crazy. It was really just like a cleanup surgery, like cleaning up scar tissue and like
Mm.
removing extra parts of the meniscus that might be giving him problems. So
Mm.
the recovery timeline isn't that long, but I know he's with like the best doctors and stuff. He's with the doctor that Kawhi Leonard, and he's got a full off season to recover. Like the big criticism last year was that he shouldn't have did the Olympics, which I don't think it mattered at all. If I'm being honest with you, I don't think it hindered his
I get
recovery.
that.
It definitely didn't help, but like he's playing like 10 minutes a game, and he's like missing games at the Olympics too. Sometimes in the
Yeah,
induction
yeah, yeah.
rounds, and when they were up big against like France or whatever, he's like out of the game there. And when they needed him against Serbia, he's playing. So like I think it's a non-story because I wouldn't have really like it took too longer than expected to get the update about him. But I'm not worried that he hasn't resumed on court activities like last year.
Okay.
He was doing camp or whatever, and his knee started swelling up during camp, and that's why he missed the beginning of the year. So I think they're just trying to put it off as like long as possible. I think he'll probably start camp, and I would think that he starts the year. Like obviously, nobody really knows how his knee is going to react. Like if it swells up like it did last year, then yeah, he won't. But I don't feel any worse than I did before. I feel you with the is over stuff because I do kind of feel that way, but I kind of felt that way since last season.
Yeah, me
But
too.
I don't know. This doesn't like change my thoughts on it at all. Like I think that he'll probably play half the season, maybe a little bit less. And if we make the playoffs, I think he'll play every game that he possibly can there, like he always seems to do. So I don't know. To me, it's like kind of a non-story because it's like there aren't even really like team practices right now. It's like
Yeah.
I mean he's rehabbing. Like Maxi's on the broadcast last night talking about he's rehabbing. He talks to him like every single day. So I don't know. Like all that matters is that he just gets back healthy because he's 31 years old. It's not like he's gonna be adding to his game at this point. He's kind of like he is
Yeah.
what he is.
That's who
The
he
thing
is.
that's holding
Yeah.
him back is just health. So I'm not that worried about it. Just hopefully he's back there healthy and can play half the season and play every game during the playoffs if we make it. So
Yeah,
that's
bro.
all.
I mean, I think I'm gonna go into it when we start going down with the losers of
Mm-hmm.
the agency. At my five, I feel like this is gonna be a controversial choice, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm and this team is still, I feel like, in my opinion, a relatively good team. I do feel like they lost a key piece. So my at my five, my loser is the Detroit Pistons. Mainly because they lost Malik Beasley. I felt like he was a huge, huge, huge factor of that team's success. He led the league in 3-point shooting last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or was it Ant?
He was second to Ant, but yeah, it was right there. It was
Yeah.
like last year.
So yeah, so they lost a really good shooter. They lost a leader. And they also lost Tim Hardaway Jr., who I also think was really underrated for that team. But with that all being said, I still think the Pistons are going to be a good team. I just feel like they would have been even more of a serious team with Malik Beasley on there.
Mm-hmm.
You got any thoughts? And then, you can tell me your five.
I don't think that was controversial. I also had them at my five. It was tough for me to
Bro,
place these teams because I had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. I had 8 teams competing for these 5 spots or whatever.
mhm.
Um, it's kind of hard because it's like the off season still going on, and maybe somebody swings a trade
Yeah,
and
yeah,
works their
yeah.
way out of it. But yeah, I did end up putting them at five. For the same reason that you did. Like they lose Malik Beasley, who was a key part of their team, and then they kind of overpay, in my opinion, for Duncan Robinson to fill the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
role,
yeah.
but it felt like too much money. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Asar Thompson takes a huge leap, and I like you said, I expect them to still be good. Definitely one of their most important players, Malik Beasley, and they really didn't make any moves that moved me, but they lost one of their most important players. So I would definitely consider them a loser because I think how I weighted this was I weighted this based on my expectations of how their offseason could be. So I expect
Mhm.
them like to retain Malik Beasley, maybe make another move, but they lose Malik Beasley. They don't really make another move.
Yeah,
So they were a loser in my opinion. But that I will also say, I'm sure you had the Sixers on here because of what you said before.
I
I
do.
don't actually have the Sixers because this is
Interesting.
kind of
Okay.
exactly how I expected the offseason to go. Like I didn't think we were going to retain Gershon. I expected us to retain Grimes, and I think we're going to retain Grimes for less money than I thought that we would before
Okay. Okay.
because no team has any cap space left. So like either he takes the qualifying offer or we get him on a deal that isn't 25 million a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
kind of what I expected. I thought Watford was a good pickup. Hated the Lowry resigning. That was like the only move I'm really mad about.
Yeah.
And then like kind of had to bring Eric Gordon back because we gave him a player option last year. And then like what he like to me, it was obvious that the deal was that he opts out of his player option and then resigns on him in again because it gets him more money, but also lowers the cap hit for our team because of like just how the cap situation works. So it's kind of exactly what I expected. So I'm sure you're going to talk about it soon. I just wanted to put that
Yeah.
out there because based on my expectations, this is what I thought it would be. So I'd say it's
Got you.
pretty neutral.
Word. Okay. I'll go at my four and then you can tell me what you think also because this I wouldn't say this is as a controversial choice. I do think that this the reason why I chose this team at my four is based on their past decision making or their GM's decision making in order to get them in this position currently. So at my number four, I have the Chicago Bulls, mainly because they've traded all their core for virtually zero draft picks. If the only picks they got back were their own picks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I also think like um, they traded Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro. Size fit, I understand it, but like you probably could have gotten I think you could have gotten a little bit more value for Alonzo, in my opinion. I think you could have gotten something back, especially given the fact that you didn't get something back for Alex Caruso, which I know you could have gotten something back, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have the Bulls at four right now because I feel like their team is in a position to do something interesting. However, the Bulls have been in this same position um, for as long as I can remember, honestly. And that's no disrespect. I think a lot of Bulls fans would agree with me. But yeah, I had the Bulls at my four.
Yeah, they weren't on mine. I'm not mad at the choice at all because yeah, they didn't do anything that moved the needle for me. I like the Noah Senge pick. I know he hasn't been great in summer league, but I thought that was fine, and I thought there was enough to like save them from being a loser for me. I was kind
Mhm.
of like, oh, what if they resign? Like, I mean, what if they draft Yegor Demon and then resign Josh Giddey for 30 million a year? I
Mm.
also think the Josh Giddey market is falling perfectly for them. Seems he has no suitors, so I don't think he will get the 30 million that he's asking for. And if they do, they immediately probably become my number one loser because they have all the leverage right now,
Yeah.
and he's not a $30 million a year player. That would just hinder so much cap space. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was like kind of what I expect from them. Definitely not a winner of the offseason. Um,
Did you
and
have them in your eight teams or were they not even in there?
they didn't make it, but I easily could have had it because a
Okay,
team
gotcha.
like for example, I have the Kings there.
Okay,
Because the
yeah, that
Kings
makes
didn't
sense.
really do anything
That
that
was your
moved,
four?
huh?
That was your four?
No, no, they're not my four. They were a team I left off, but I think they're in the
Okay,
same
okay,
boat
okay,
as the
okay.
Kings. So yeah,
Gotcha.
they easily could have been in there. I thought they were way more losers than winners because I thought that they were like, I don't know. I try not to put the stagnant teams in there. I thought the Bulls and the Kings were pretty stagnant, if that makes
I get
sense.
that. I
And
understand what you mean by that.
just like I thought we were stagnant. So I think like if I was like doing it like that, like yeah, none of us really improved, none of those three teams. But I was kind of looking at teams that I thought like got worse or were like letting a player down. Like my four was the Warriors because you got Steph and Jimmy who are like we know they're great players, and then Draymond I still think is a really good player at this point, especially on defense. He's
Yep.
not the Draymond of old where he was probably one of the most underrated players in league history, but he's still good. He's still good at basketball.
Yeah.
Not really that effective as a scorer on offense, but he's still really smart and one of the better defenders in the league still. And around that, you really have nothing else. So yeah, that's kind of tough. You don't have a lot of like players I look at as real NBA players, and you have you have one of the greatest of all time, and not much around him. So I have them as a loser because they're kind of squandering it. And I know I said I wasn't doing it based on like stagnation, but this I feel like is pretty dire. And like you don't even have real shooting around them. You don't even
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
real defensive pieces around them. Like their defense was one of the worst in the league last year,
Yeah.
and you lose Kevon Looney. Like so that's like the real reason I can justify putting them on here because they lose a playable center.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're going to do, but I had them at my fourth spot because not only were they stagnant, they also lost a key piece on defense. as one of the worst defensive teams in the league. So,
Yeah. No, I agree with you because they're on my list too. Um,
mhm.
I put them honestly a little bit higher. I put them at my number one.
Wow.
Mainly
Okay.
because, bro, like similar to what you said. If you're trying to compete with Steph Curry, bro, the fact that you have zero offseason moves to like it's been about like 10 days since free agency started, and we're still
Mhm.
getting rumors about them signing Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton. You know what I'm saying? But it's been those rumors for like 3 days, and other teams in your division have gotten better. Other teams in the conference have obviously gotten better. I feel like Warriors fans have been said like you needed a center and you lost Loon, and that's like I know his time might have not been. I mean, I know he probably wasn't gonna get a lot of more time in Golden State just because they're trying to get Quinn Post acclimated in Chase trade. I'm blanking on his name right now. Number 32 on.
Jackson Davis. Yeah. Trade
Yeah,
Jackson Davis.
yeah. So I understood that because of those two, Loon would probably be shipped out sooner or later.
Mhm.
But losing Loon, who's an offensive rebounder, you know, impactful rotational big, definitely hurts. And you don't have a big that can really replace him. And Quinn Post isn't the best on defense, and he's what is his first year, so it's like or his second year, excuse me. So
Yeah.
I had them at my one, mainly because it's like if you have a player like Steph Curry, you have to, or and you're saying that you're gonna utilize his abilities, you have to do it. And I feel like they haven't been doing that. So yeah.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, what you
or,
said about Horford, I thought that was a good point. I will add, if they add Al Horford, that moves the needle for me,
it does
especially
a
because
little bit, yeah.
You could bring Post off the bench, and I thought Post was pretty good, but like you say, he wasn't a good defensive player. It's just interesting that he could stretch the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like him better off the bench, and that would move because Al Horford's still really effective and really good defensive player and can shoot the ball well. So I think he's a perfect fit for that team. They probably drop out of my top five if they sign him. Like I wouldn't consider them a winner, but I wouldn't say they've had one of the worst. So
Mhm.
hopefully they get that done for Steph because there's one of the greatest players that's ever played a game, and I want him to have a fighting chance in his last
Yeah,
couple of
yeah,
years.
yeah. Who's your three, bro?
I got the Pacers.
Okay,
Just
interesting.
kind of not much they can do about it. Oh, I'm realizing now I left the Bucks off. I think this could be like I think I probably should have had the Bucks on here to be honest too.
Hmm.
Um, because like I don't know. The Pacers and the Bucks are kind of in the same situation to me.
Okay,
Like they're
talk to
they're
me,
they're,
bro.
they're really constricted rosters because for the Bucks, Damian Lillard can't play this season, so they had to stretch and waive him to try to keep the Giannis window alive. And at the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
time, the
yeah.
Pacers they're down Halliburton this whole year, so both of them the Achilles injury to one of their star players kind of hinders their roster because you just have a hole like a cap hole in the roster, and both of them like aren't really the Pacers aren't bad enough to tank. The Bucks don't have their pick to tank,
Yeah,
so neither one of them can like take a really a pause here
yeah,
because Pacers are too good. The Bucks, yeah, and so the Bucks they add Miles Turner, which is a nice pickup. They lose Brook Lopez at this point. Miles Turner is better than Brook Lopez. They did give him a lot of money. We'll see how that contract ages. I think it's fine value for Miles Turner right now. Like in retrospect, it could look bad, and I understand they're trying to keep Giannis around,
yeah,
but they're running back the same team they had last year that lost in the first round with Miles Turner instead of Brook Lopez and no Damian Lillard. In my opinion, this is a recipe for a first or second round exit again. And like I know trading Giannis would be hard, and I can understand why they wouldn't want to do that. But I thought that them and the Pacers kind of like dug themselves, and I thought that the Bucks dug themselves into a deeper hole, and
mm,
the Pacers like I really don't know what they can do this season.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, because of Halliburton.
yeah, because of Halliburton and they lost Turner, so now they're not even going to be as like relatively competitive. Maybe they are trying to take a tank here, but I still think Siakam, Neesmith, Nemhard, like all the guys off the bench, TJ McConnell will
Yeah,
probably be in the starting lineup now. I think that's too good in the East to really be one of the worst teams. I know
yeah,
they traded for their draft
yeah.
pick back,
I know what
which
you're saying, bro. Because especially
you know
after
what I mean.
you go to the finals, like they're all like, I think they're
Yeah.
pretty acclimated.
So these teams, I'm kind of like it's harder for me to like blame the front office than there's a team like the Warriors or something like that because I'm like, damn, like what are you going to do
Yeah,
when like a max player goes down with a Achilles injury and they're going to miss the whole year? But I thought that they both were deserving of like that three spot, and I would say they're in the same tier.
so wait, bro, because you saw that the Bucks they signed Cole Anthony.
Yeah, I mean,
You don't like that as much, or no?
like it's fine. Like it's not really a needle mover for me. I do like Cole Anthony a lot. I
Okay.
love him at UNC. He's really fun to watch. But these past couple of years, I think his production has been down. I thought there's a nice flyer for them, I guess, but like it's not really a needle mover for me. You know what I mean? I do like Cole Anthony as like as a watch, but yeah, I'm not like it doesn't make them anything different for me.
Okay, I got you. I got you. Um, at my three, I have the Sixers. Um, for the same reasons you kind of mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
We put a lot of player options out for our veterans, and they were all the veterans that contributed to more losses than wins, and they're all coming back. So I think that was a huge loss for the Sixers, and I think not getting a traditional four was another huge blow because we lost Yabusele, like you said earlier, and we only signed Watford. I know Watford is a good three-point shooter, and he might be able to play really well with Maxey given their relationship. Um, I don't know what it is, but they seem like they know how to play with each other. Um, but yeah, like
Mhm.
I'm trying to see the optimistic side of it, which is you want to build with the same personnel, but I think at the same time, we're not DC where like we have veterans that can still contribute at a high level. There are veterans that are like almost, 1 or 2 years away from being out the league, if like respectfully, obviously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so like that's why they're at my three. And I think it's gonna be an interesting season this season. I think when I look at other teams, we don't match up well against a lot of other competitive teams. Um, so I'm kind of like, given also the Joel Embiid news, I'm trying to
Mhm.
embrace just this new era of young guards. So yeah, the Sixers are at my three. I feel like I'm not gonna have a crazy expectation for them this year, but hopefully they prove me wrong. Um,
I just want to touch on it. I am a Trent
my fault,
Watford
my
believer.
fault.
I think that he impacted winning on the Nets. As like crazy as it sounds, and I think that's part of the reason they want him gone, is because I think they want to tank again.
Yeah,
And yeah, we got him on a minimum contract for 2 years. I think he's a playable player. I think he brings really nice playmaking at the power forward. I agree that he's probably not a starter. And I actually, part of the reason it's hard for me to put us at a loser is because I was scared that we were going to try to like swing a trade for a power forward, whether that be PJ
hmm
Washington or
hmm
Obi Toppin, if the Pacers are really serious about tanking, and put in too many assets, and then do that on a team that's already lost because like Embiid or Paul George will be
Yeah,
hurt
yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. So I think the move is you see how the year's going, and then around the trade deadline, when somebody becomes available for cheaper because it's only half a year, if you're in contention because Embiid's been healthy, or you feel that you can manage his injury, and we're around like the playing level or like hopefully better than that, then you could swing a trade for a power forward using like Oubre's contract or Gordon's contract or Lowry's contract or Drummond's contract, and like some second round picks.
Yeah.
Probably don't need to throw in first, and we have a lot of seconds at this point. So then I think you could get a starting power forward like at the deadline. Um, but yeah, we'll see. I don't feel like good about where we are in terms of contention, but I'm glad we didn't do anything I thought was super stupid,
Yeah.
except for resign Kyle Lowry, which is only a minimum contract. So if the thing I hate the most about our team is that we re-signed Lowry on a min, like that's fine. I mean, I'm like upset that Gershon had to walk, but I think it's understandable. I'm somebody who's very critical of Daryl Morey a lot of the time, and I didn't think there was anything he could do there. He offered him what he could do at the time to maintain the flexibility to re-sign Quentin Grimes, and Gershon took the offer that was there because he wasn't prepared to wait
Yeah. Yeah.
until Grimes signed his contract, which is completely understandable. He was out of the league for some years, get the money while it's there, don't wait for somebody else to sign. But it was just a tough position Morey was in. Um, I don't know what he could have did different, and I know a lot of people are bashing him for that, being like he sucks. What he did last season, giving out all the player options, that sucked. I will say that. But this offseason, it's tough. It's a tough situation, and yeah. But I like what he did with the Jabari Walker two way. I thought that was really good. He brings defense and rebounding. I think he will get converted. I think he'll make a lot of fans like really surprised with how good he is. I
Mm,
do think Ricky Council's going after last year's contract is not guaranteed, and I do think they'll want the roster spot and the money back, which does make sense.
yeah.
Hopefully, he can somewhere else. I did like watching him play, and yeah, I'm a big Trent Watford guy, so I think that he made some good moves, he made some bad moves, and there was stagnant, but I don't think it. was worse than the expectations of the teams I have. My number two, I have the Pelicans, mostly because of what they did at the draft. Their
Okay, yeah, yeah,
team,
yeah, yeah. I remember
their
you
team
talking
is
about
not cohesive. They gave up next year's first round pick, so if they suck, which they will, that pick goes to the Hawks. Um, they said they were going to trade Zion. I guess they're not trading Zion, which makes sense. So we'll see what they do. Um, yeah, their team doesn't defend. They don't shoot the three. They haven't been able to stay healthy. So yeah, we'll see. They're my two because I thought they were in an okay spot because they had young talent and they were rebuilding and then they throw their pick out the window for next year. So they're not even rebuilding. This is like win now, I guess, this season, which doesn't make sense because the team was flawed
it.
and they didn't fix those flaws and they yeah, I, I thought that their offseason was horrible from a team that I thought was in an okay spot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I kind of agree. The Pelicans, they do look incohesive. Um, and yeah, they definitely look like they're poised to start rebuilding this year. Um, and it's definitely like a weird situation, I guess, to see like the Pelicans always try to compete and build a good team around their star just to only rebuild again. I think this is their like third time rebuilding as like someone who's been watching the NBA. Um, So yeah, it definitely sucks. I hope that guys like Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen do well. I saw his summer league highlights have been looking really well. Um, so yeah, we'll see. But I understand why you have them at your two. At my two, which is kind of like my one, since I already said like the Warriors were my one.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Lakers. Right now, given everything that's going on within their organization, you lost Dorian Finney-Smith to Houston, who's a competitive team. It feels like there's not enough defensive depth, especially with bringing in DeAndre Ayton. And there's a lot of questions on if LeBron will leave LA, which I feel like if you trade LeBron, even though he's 40 years old, you're still gonna lose in some way because you lose all of that experience. And I feel like honestly, like it's probably better to have Luca learn from LeBron than trade him because Luca's like I'm assuming Luca's gonna be your future. Um, but yeah, I feel like the Lakers they're not at my one, but they're my two. But it's mainly because they lost a key free agents, and there's a lot of questions with their defensive depth. So yeah, what's your view on it? And then you can tell me your one.
Yeah, I thought that was a really nice number two. Actually, they were in contention for my top five. I think they barely missed the list, and I think part of that is because you look at DeAndre Ayton's best year, and it was with Chris Paul. So even though I don't think DeAndre Ayton is a very good NBA player, and if I was a Lakers fan, I wouldn't be too excited. I think a player like Luca will get more out
Yeah,
of
I
him
see what you're
than
saying.
he did in a different than he like had in Portland last year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not an Aiton fan, but you know what? I think next to Luca, similar to Chris Paul, he might be a productive player. So we'll see. And we're looking at it from not a max contract perspective, so which I think will definitely help. How we evaluate Aiton because the players cap hit on the team is a pretty considerable part of how we evaluate a player. Like a max player playing like mid basketball is going to look way worse than a minimum contract player playing mid basketball because of how like your value based on your production is.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's nice to not like crippled by LeBron right now because he doesn't have the leverage because they have Luca.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. But I definitely agree. Losing Dorian Finney-Smith was huge. I didn't think their center acquisition was that great, especially because I would have liked a more defensive minded center, and I don't think Aiden is that. I think that he could provide some value on offense next to an elite playmaker. But yeah, it wasn't really what I thought they needed at all. Um, so definitely I agree that they're a loser. My number one though was the Nets. For a couple reasons.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I have a couple reasons. I know I talked about it in depth before. Did not like their draft. They went in with 5 first round picks. They talked about how they were going to trade up and get a guy they really liked. They didn't do that. Got a bunch of really redundant players. Haven't looked good in summer league, which doesn't matter to me. Like a lot of players who are productive don't look good in summer league. We see it with Justin Edwards right now. We know that he plays. He's given us good NBA minutes, and I think he'll continue to do that. But yeah, he's had a hard time in summer league. There's like no structure. It's almost like pickup games. So I can see why players who play really well in structure don't do well. So I'm not putting too much stock into it.
Mhm.
But at the time of the draft, didn't love their draft. They didn't trade up using the 5 picks like they said they were going to. They had all this cap space that they were going to use like for a for a trade or something, they could have did with these 5 first round picks, have not used that cap space for anything except to absorb Michael Porter Jr.'s contract. I thought they sold too low on Cam Johnson. I thought they should have traded him before so they could have tanked better last year.
Saying by that, yeah, yeah.
Um, I thought the Nuggets pick, yeah, it looks pretty good, but what they got one pick, and it's not in the near future, which I guess you don't want when you're trading for a Nuggets pick because they have Jokic. But I
Hmm.
thought they could have gotten better assets than that Nuggets pick. I thought they could have got a couple first round picks
Hmm.
for Cam Johnson they did last year. And you know what? Like Michael Porter Jr., he gets like a lot of shit from people. I don't think he's that bad of a basketball player. I actually think he's a pretty good basketball player. Will he look worse than he does next to Jokic? Yes. But like, I'm not sure that's the player I want to add when I'm a tanking team because he will just win you some games because he'll get super duper hot like he does because he is a really good play finisher off the ball, especially next to those point guards. So I
Hmm.
think I wouldn't be surprised if they get hot for like a couple games and they win more than they want to, and then they fall again in the draft lottery because they win too many games because they had Michael Porter Jr. on the team. And
Hmm.
yeah, he's not as good as Cam Johnson, so he's not going to win you as many games as Cam. But like, I don't know. You don't trade up with the 5 picks. I don't like the players you took with the 5 picks. I don't like the value you got for Cam Johnson. You didn't do anything with the cap space. The one win I think they have right now is that Cam Thomas has no leverage because teams don't have money. So I don't think they're going to have to give a huge contract to Cam Thomas, who looked really good under Jordy Fernandez because Jordy Fernandez is a fantastic coach with a
Yep.
really bad roster. And Cam Thomas in his like limited time last year, he was hurt. I don't know if he was actually hurt or they were just heading out because they were tanking. He was like damn near a top 30 offensive player in the league. Yes, he was one of the worst defensive players in the league, but damn near being a top 30 level offensive player like speaks a lot to Jordy Fernandez and how good Cam Thomas was when he was on the court. So it'd be nice for them to retain him. I'm higher on him than most people are. But yeah, they were my one. Maybe I'm not factoring in free agency enough. Maybe I'm still too focusing heavily on the draft. But
Yeah.
yeah, they were my worst free
Yeah.
agency.
I mean, I honestly I don't blame you for thinking that way. Um, I'm gonna watch the Nets closely this year with Michael Porter Jr. Um, just because it's gonna be like an interesting team.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it would be a fun team to watch from outside
yeah.
perspective.
Also, we got like a minute left, so I'm gonna keep this real brief.
Mhm.
But like I definitely understand why you feel the way that the Nets missed on all draft picks. I've been looking at them closely. I've been looking at their highlights. Obviously, it's summer league. You know, you want to give every single game a chance and then wait to the league to actually like see what's going on. But yeah, I don't really blame you for feeling that way. Getting Cam Thomas back honestly wouldn't be bad if you're trying to tank because I feel like, you know, you're probably gonna you're probably not gonna win as many games with Cam Thomas and Michael Porter Jr. and that's okay. I feel
Mhm.
like it's some place to start rebuilding somewhere, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, 10 episodes. We love the game. Appreciate everybody again for like locking in, showing love. Yeah, Marco, you got anything else to say, bro?
no, I appreciate everybody who was watching. Yeah, like and subscribe.
Yeah,
It doesn't
man.
feel like we've been 10 episodes in, man. It feels like it's going by pretty fast.
Yeah, it's been crazy and we only gonna go crazier, bro. So yeah, man. Yeah, man. Appreciate everybody, man. Hit the bell, subscribe, comment, bro. Come on, man. We want to see y'all, man. Love the game, man. Let's get it. Appreciate y'all.